What are the signs that a relationship is emotionally abusive? You see, whenever we hear about abuse, we think about broken limb, bruises, black eye, and when such physical marks are not there, we tend to waive it. Maybe someone is telling us, oh, I'm being abused. We ask them, did he hit you? Did he kick you? Did he smash your head to the wall? Did he push you? Did he shove you? Did he throw objects at you in anger? And when they say no, we try to rationalize it. Maybe they are making it up, but sometimes they are not. I was in an abusive relationship for years, and I knew I was being abused, but I stayed. So the question is not just about how do you know that a relationship is emotionally abusive. The question is, when you are in such a situation and you are aware of the signs, why do you stay? Hi, my name is Adaize Chidema, and this is Breaking Free from Abuse. First of all, I would like you to know that I am not a therapist. I am a survivor, and I am here to tell my story. I am here to share from my own personal experience, to reach out to someone out there who may be sitting or living in an abusive relationship, in a toxic environment. But because it is emotional, they feel that there was nothing they could do about it. So I want you to know also, if you are living in the UK and you feel you are in danger, you may call 999 for that. And if you need any advice, you need to talk to people regarding domestic abuse, the National Domestic Abuse Helpline is 0808 2000 247. I repeat it, 0808 2000 247. And you will get confidential help from them. And they are open 247 and is free. Right. Having said that, today we are going to talk about 5 signs of an emotionally abusive relationship. And the first thing we're talking about is 1, he controls your life and calls it love. When you are in a relationship where the man controls your finances, controls your friendship or relationship, controls everything about you, that is abusive, emotional abuse. I use myself as an example because, like I said earlier, I'm here to share from my personal experience. I was married and he wouldn't let me work. From the beginning, he told me, oh, I earn enough for the family. I make enough money for the family. So there is no need for you to work. And I agreed. I believed him. I saw it as an act of, care and love. And that was how it started. So everything I did, what I ate, what I wore, where I go, when I goes, he controlled everything. And he made sure I had no friend to talk with. After all, I didn't even work. So there are no colleagues, there are nowhere I could meet anyone outside the house. So everything about me, like my world, was revolving around him. So if you find yourself in such a situation where someone, because a saying goes that whoever controls your finances controls your life, and that is the truth. So if you have come to a situation or to the level where you have to to plan, to memorize, to kind of make this mental proposal before you go and ask for a penny. Because once you ask, they'll ask you why. And you have to defend it. You have to, to tell them why you need the money and how you're going to spend it. Here, I'm not saying it's not good to be accountable, but all I'm saying is when you are living your life in such a way that someone is dictating every, every, every little point, every little thing that you have to do, that is controlling behavior and it is emotional abuse. Number two, when he makes you feel like you are the problem. So anything that happens, even when something goes wrong, at the end of the day, you know deep down that he did something wrong. Maybe you confront him, but at the end of the day, you'll be the one apologizing because he will flip it, twist it in such a way that even if you do not believe it was your fault, for the sake of keeping peace and order, you will start to apologize. You see, I was asked to come to the UK in 2013 for my master's degree, and I came. I was asked to come by the man I loved, the man I felt we were building a future together. But the same month I came here for my master's was the same month he took another girl home to the village to show his elder brother. And by the time I finished here, it was just 1 year program and traveled back, which during which time he didn't even bother to visit me. No matter how many times I sent him visa invitation, he always tells me stories of why he wouldn't come. So when I finally finished and went back home, I saw what was going on. In fact, I thought it even started before I traveled because there was no way someone will meet a girl the same month I traveled and take him home the same month if something has not been going on the ground, even while I was there. In fact, from what I saw when I came back to my home, what was supposed to be my home, I felt that me traveling, be asking me to go abroad for my master's was just a way of removing me from, the scene because I was like standing in the way of his affair with this girl. So when I came back and asked, who is the girl you put her picture on your WhatsApp status? Yes, he was that audacious. He told me it was a girl I met in so and so place. In fact, I took her home last September when you traveled. I was like, it was the same September I traveled. He said, yeah, I took her home that September to show my brother. I said, why? He said, well, I like her and I'm just helping her. There's nothing going on. I'm just helping her. How can you meet a girl? You are just helping her. You put her picture on your WhatsApp status. You took her home to show your brother. Does it make sense? Yet you told me nothing is going on. I said, well, now I'm back. Shut it down. Tell them I'm back. Let it stop, whatever it is. I'm back. He didn't respond. Now, it went further that this girl calls him every single day, 6 a.m. and 8 p.m. every single day. And do you know what he does? When this girl calls, he will tell me to go to the living room, that he wants to take his call. And I will go to the living room. I will sit there asking myself questions. Where did I go wrong? Why was someone else chosen instead of me? What did I do or what did I not do? So many questions will be going on, in my head, and I'll be sitting there dutifully. In fact, when it started, and I wanted to kind of, argue, like, I'm not going anywhere, this is my bedroom, he told me, this is my house. I can take any call I want. This is my house. If you don't like it, go back to your father's house. We were legally married, wedded in church. We're not just like boyfriend, girlfriend, cohabiting. No, officially married for years before this thing was happening. In fact, I would just sit there praying and hoping this would stop, but it didn't stop. You can imagine how early 6 a.m. is. That is when a strange girl will call, and a married man will pick up and ask the wife, go to the living room, I have to pick this call. So at a point, I didn't have to be told anymore, because when someone keeps telling you the same thing over and over, you have to be dumb not to get the gist. So I just made this kind of calendar that every day I have to go to the gym. So a few minutes before 6, I wake up, I prepare, and by 6, I'm out of the bedroom. Maybe I'm in the living room, taking my car key, getting my bottle of water. But by 6, you can't find me in the bedroom, because that is when the call comes through and you pick it. And by 8 p.m., sometimes when it seems like I forgot, it's getting to 8, he will say, oh, it's almost 8 o'clock. I think you should go. Your show, your program is about to start on the TV. Go and watch your program. It's like when you are talking to a child. This is the way you talk to a child. Maybe you have work to do, and this child is playing with his toy or her toy and kind of distracting you. And you want to take them out of this space. You tell them, oh, go and watch your cartoon. You see, your cartoon has started. Go and watch this, go and watch that. And they will be excited about the cartoon. But you are sending them out so they don't disturb your work. That was exactly what was going on. So I took the cue. 6 a.m., 8 p.m., you can't find me there. And it continued that way. So what I'm saying is, when he makes you feel like you are the problem, because by this time I was already feeling like I was the problem, to the extent I asked him to marry the girl. Yeah, I did. We are Africans, and polygamy is, accepted, even though we were Christians married in the church. But what else could I do? I thought this would help the situation. If the girl comes into the home, at least it won't be like mistress. But he told me no. He said his father was a polygamist, and he saw how it teared up the family into two, that he was not ready to do it. So you think keeping the mistress, even to my knowledge, is not tearing apart the family? I left him with that. Now, it got to the point that, when he got tired of trying to frustrate me and I didn't go, he actually packed his bags and left. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. So number 3 sign that a relationship is emotionally abusive is when he uses your fear to keep you there. The thing is, abusive people, they know what you are afraid of. They know your fears. And they use this fear to keep you there. In my own case, I had fear of the unknown. I had fear of what my family would say if I ever left. I had fear of what society, the people, would say. I had fear of, starting all over again. Where do I even start? I had fear of being financially dependent on him. Because when you are moving, you want to be on your own. It has to be on your terms and with your money. Like in a situation where you are depending on someone for your day-to-day living, how do you make it happen? So all these things were the leech he used to keep me in place, to make sure no matter what he does, I am there. So sometimes we ask this question, why did you stay? It is deeper than you think. Sometimes most women stay, most women stay because of their children. They will tell you it's because of my children. There are so many reasons. So some women stay because of blackmail. Because of blackmail. They are being blackmailed. If you leave, I will unleash this. I will do this one. Some women stay because of threat to their lives. I experienced that when I left. But already that ship had sailed. So even the threat didn't bother me. Because at that period, I was like, I had nothing else to lose. Because it came to a point I even lost my health. I was dying, critically ill, while he was living with the other woman. That's a story for another day. Because the truth is, when you keep bottling bitterness for years, because the worst thing that happened was I had no one to talk to. I was isolated. I had no friend. I wasn't working, so I had no colleagues. My family, he used, concocted some stories, made me, I wasn't talking to my elder sister at this time. For a year, I didn't talk to my elder sister. And when I eventually talked to her, I realized that the story he told me about my elder sister was all lies, just to make sure I was not interacting with anyone else. So all these are fears, fear of this, fear of that. They are what they use to keep the victim in check, to make sure you are not going anywhere, no matter what they do. And sign number 4 is when you have lost yourself. Number 4 sign of a relationship that is emotionally abusive is you lose the woman you used to be, the person you used to be. You know who you used to be. Your laughter, the way you live your life, your free spirit, the way you could express yourself, the way you dressed, the way you had friends, the way you related with your family. By the time you look back and see that, you can't recognize the woman you have become. In my own case, I was even told how to dress. How to dress. I was told how to laugh. I was living in such a way that I couldn't, it was years after this thing ended that I started learning how to express myself. I remember when I came back, because when it all ended, I came back to the UK because he threatened me. He didn't just say it, he called my auntie, my mom's younger sister, and he called an elderly cousin of mine on the phone and told them that he gave me 2 months to live. And my dear, when a millionaire, an African millionaire threatens you and you have nothing, you have nowhere to go, you better run fast. Better run fast because he might just carry it out. So what I'm trying to say is when I newly came back to the UK, running for my life and running to, safety, to start all over, one of the things I found difficult was making choices for myself. Because for more than 10 years, somebody was making the choices for me. I remember the very first job I had. During break one of those days, the manager was going out to get some food. And she wanted to be generous. And she asked everyone, what would you want? People were saying what they wanted. And when she asked me, what can I get for you? I didn't know how to answer that question. I told her, you can get me anything. Anything is okay. She said, okay. And she left. She came back, gave everybody what she bought for them, and she bought me nothing. I was surprised. She looked at me, she said, well, I asked you what you wanted. You didn't tell me anything. You said anything. I looked all over the shelf. I didn't say, and I didn't see food called anything. No snack, no drink with the label anything, because you requested for anything. I appreciated the fact that she did that because it was a wake-up call. I went back home, I sat down and I asked myself, why is it that everyone else freely told this woman what they wanted? Freely. Because she said, what do you want? Say what you want. I didn't know what I wanted. I couldn't say, express it, what I wanted. Because for years, no one has ever asked me that question. No one has ever asked me, what do you want? They had always came back and said, this is for you. This is for you. This is for you. And even when I'm going for my own shopping, they vetted my list to make sure that whatever I'm going to get is approved by them. Because they're the one, sponsoring it. They're the one paying for it. So it goes to show when you have been in a place long enough to the extent that you lost yourself. You are not your own person anymore. You don't have your mind. You lose your mind. Not like being insane. You lose your mind that you are not using it anymore. Someone thinks for you. Someone tells you what is good for you. Someone tells you how to look. Someone tells you what you like and what you don't like. Yeah, came to that extent. So that is emotional abuse, because God has given every one of us free will to make choices. And when you make bad choices, you live with the consequence. But in your day-to-day living, where you are in a place that someone is running your life for you, telling you what is good for you, to the extent that you can't express yourself, to the extent that you don't even know what you want at all, that is emotional abuse. And number 5 sign that a relationship is emotionally abusive is when you have this voice that keeps telling you you are not good enough. And let me tell you something about that voice. You think that voice is yours because you have been talking to yourself over and over and over again. And you have come to believe, oh, it is just that voice in my head. That voice in my head. I'm just telling myself that now. That was not originally your voice. That voice that keeps telling you, or that keeps telling you you are not good enough, was not originally yours. Because before you got to where you are now, you never told yourself that. You didn't believe you are not good enough. You saw yourself as a star meant to shine. But bit by bit, someone kept telling you you were not good enough. Someone kept comparing you to other women out there. Someone kept putting you down, and with time, you lost your self-esteem and started seeing yourself as useless. And when you bring in the fact that you are not even making your own money, earning anything, contributing anything, it adds up, it helps to lower you down the more, make you feel smaller than you really are. So that is one of the limiting beliefs, that voice that is telling you you are not good enough. And because of this voice now, you also believe that you cannot start over. In those days, I used to think, where do I even start? I think about my schoolmates, people I graduated with. I mean, in the university, people I graduated it with, from the College of Education. I imagine, I think, I have some of them, even as friends on social media. And I see how far they are going. And I look at my life, nothing is going on. And I feel so worthless. And when you add that to the fact that the person who asked you not to work makes it his duty to remind you from time to time that you are actually worthless, it just seals it for you. It seals it. How many times did he tell me that other women are better than myself? He did say that. He even mentioned a particular woman from our town who was running a business with her husband then in the same city we lived. He mentioned her name and said, even that woman, even that I used to see her as low grade, she's better than you. She's running a business with her husband. But did you forget that I was eager, I was desiring to work or run my own business? But you are the one who told me not to do anything. You are the one that stopped me and said you were making enough money for the family. So that limiting belief, oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, I'm too old to start over. Oh, my children need to grow up. Oh, people will say I'm a failure. Oh, my family will mock me. Oh, society will call me, a loose woman. Because where I come from, when a marriage fails, it is the woman's fault. So that is why many women are dying. Many women are dying. Yes. Many women are dying due to abusive relationships because they chose to stay in order to save face, in order to keep up the appearance, in order to make people believe the more that they are actually happy when they are passing through hell. If you have watched this video to this point, I appreciate it. Please do me a favor. Like it. Subscribe to this channel. Breaking free from abuse. Like I said at the beginning, I'm a survivor. I'm still standing. And I made up my mind to share this for the first time. To help someone out there to know that whatever they are passing through, that fear you are feeling is not weakness. It is your body giving you information, letting you know that you can still feel something. It is also letting you know that you still have time if you want to do something about it. So share this in your group chat, family, friends. Someone out there may need to say this. Share it and let, those who are supposed to know more about this, let them know it. So having said this, I want to reiterate once again, if you live in the UK and you feel you are in danger, simply dial 999 for help. And if you are being abused in your home and you don't know anyone to talk to, call the National Domestic Abuse Helpline 0808 2000 247. It is confidential and it is free to call them 247 a week. And you will get help if you need it. Thank you so much. And I want you to know it is not your fault and you are not alone. My name is Adaize and I'll wrap it up here for today. Thank you and see you next time. Bye.